Hi, I'm John Ray, and welcome to the Thriving Podcast. I'm your host and intuitive coach, dedicated to amplifying your intuition, transforming your mind, and igniting your inner magic to create a life you're obsessed with. 2 years ago, I was burnt out as fuck in a toxic relationship and a successful tech career that I just wasn't happy in anymore. I left it all behind with no plan, and now I'm running my own business, immersed in purpose and passion, happily married to my soulmate, and living out my dreams every single day. And if you're badass enough to be listening to this podcast, then you're already on the fast track to doing the same, babe. On this podcast, we'll dive into all things life, business, heart, mind, body, and soul, empowering you to up-level your life and embody your happiest, healthiest, and hottest self. It's time to make idealistic your new realistic, because you're not just here to survive, you're here to thrive. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Happy Thriving Thursday. And welcome to part 3. I just said 3, but I put up a 2. Oh my God, I don't know where to look. Okay, wait a minute. I'm already getting distracted. Welcome to part 3 of your Hot Girl Holiday Thrival Guide. I'm in a new location again, still in Iceland, but now we're back at Sindri's apartment instead of the cabin. And the lighting, I feel, is somehow even worse. So I'm recording on my computer like I normally do, but the lighting's just like really bad. And so I'm recording on my phone. Last time we did use the computer footage for the trailer, but I think we're going to have to go with the phone footage this time because the lighting's just better there. I don't know. It's just so dark, but we'll see. So I'm like doing both because I want to see what my VA thinks. But in the meantime, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know where to look. So I'm going to just keep looking back and forth like crazy. Anyway, so this is our final part. Oh my God. Holidays are already flying. We're already on part 3 of your Hot Girl Holiday Thrival Guide. So, as you know, just to quickly recap, and in case you didn't listen to the past 2 episodes, our first episode was about how to survive and thrive at family gatherings during the holidays. Second episode was about how to survive and thrive throughout the holiday season in general in terms of stress, just how to stay sane and stress-free, how to navigate all of the extra holiday stress that tends to come about at this time of year. And now that we have gotten through all of the stress navigation and we're hopefully able to approach and move throughout the holiday season with more of a sense of inner safety, inner peace, now we're going to talk about how to really thrive in the holiday season and really embrace the character of the season, the joy, the gratitude, the coziness, all the vibes, like really how to romanticize the holiday season, how to just really take advantage of all of the coziness and vibiness that it does have to offer and really experience it as the most wonderful time of the year that we always talk about it being, but a lot of the time it ends up kind of like ironically being the opposite because of all the stress and all the family drama and all the stuff we've talked about up until now. And so again, my goal is that with the combination of all of these episodes with your Hot Girl Holiday Thrival Guide, you will be able to actually experience the holidays in the way that you always hope to, that you always dream to, that you always desire to. And these have truly helped me to do that because I feel like I used to just rush through the holidays or like not even like rush through them, but they would just pass me by and I was just consumed by stress. Like up until like the 23rd, I'm like stressing about gifts and I'm like working nonstop. So and then at the end of the season, I'm like, I watched 2 Christmas movies. You know, I didn't even get to do anything Christmassy and I feel like I didn't embrace the spirit of the season at all. And I know it sounds like kind of like a little bit of like first world problems, like, oh, I miss the like joy of the holidays. And in a way, yes, but these are not like, I'm not about the commercialism of the holiday, but I do really feel that holidays in general, I mean, holidays are rooted in like very like traditions that have been around for a very long time. Christmas is like around the winter solstice. A lot of the holidays are related to like the seasons that we celebrate in the cycles of life. And so there are a lot of really meaningful things about these times of year. And there's a reason why we celebrate at these times of year. And so I do think it's important to come back to that and allow yourself to fully experience and celebrate everything there is to experience and celebrate at this time of year and always. And again, like I said last episode, all of these tips, apply them every area of your life, every time in your life, every phase of your life, every cycle, every season, every month, right? Like they are universal tips even though I'm obviously branding this as a holiday thrival guide, because like I said in the beginning of the series, at the holidays, like all these things tend to just be exacerbated or be more difficult to do. And so I'm giving you these tips now, but please absolutely take them with you, your entire life, every single day. Take them into the new year and onward, because this is how I would hope for you to live your life all the time. This is really survival thrival guide, period. But it's especially cozy and effective and helpful at the holidays. So just another little kind of intro disclaimer, kind of giving some context, because I do really want to emphasize too that this is not like a commercial like buy things and whatnot. And I'm really, these are tips that could help anyone enjoy their life experience more, because it really is all about like coming back to the spirit of the season. And a couple of the things are a little corny, but that's kind of the point, right? If you think about Christmas movies, like why we love these wholesome Christmas movies, because they're corny as fuck, because they bring it back to the spirit of the season and the reason for the season and love and joy and gratitude and all of that. And so, yeah, I don't know why. I just feel like a little bit of I guess the other day, Sandra and I were just talking about kind of like, things going on in the world. And I just was like, damn, it is just like, I feel so grateful and lucky that I'm living the life that I'm living, and I have the opportunity. Like it's optional for me to like choose to thrive or not. You know what I mean? Like these are things I can consciously choose to do because survival is easy. And like kind of the whole concept of this podcast, right, is like you're not just here to survive, you're here to thrive. But I'm very aware that there are people in the world that their main focus right now is surviving. And so they don't necessarily have the privilege of being able to focus on thriving the way that we do. And so I obviously don't believe that we should not embrace our opportunities to thrive because other people don't have those. I don't think that benefits anybody, but I feel like I just want to acknowledge, because this episode is specifically about thriving and it's very like little things that I feel like we have the privilege to get to care about and get to focus on. I just felt like I want to acknowledge that. And also at the same time, like I said, I do think and hope that these tips are things that everyone, no matter what your circumstances are, can at least bring pieces of into their life to help improve your life and to help you survive and help you ultimately thrive. So with that little disclaimer said, let's jump into it and talk about how to make the holiday season as joyful and cozy as possible. I don't even know how many tips I have because my notes are an absolute mess. So I'm just going to start and we'll see what happens. All right. Number one is like I just mentioned, romanticizing everything. So number one, I kind of like umbrella termed it and I'm going to elaborate. But number one is just to romanticize everything. Romanticize every experience in your life during the holiday season. And like I said, these tips apply all year round because I actually got the idea for this one not in the holiday season. And I was like, oh shit, we need to be doing this all the time. So what do I mean by romanticize? I kind of want to look it up real quick. Romanticize. Romanticize means to deal with or describe in an idealized or unrealistic fashion, to make something seem better or more appealing than it really is. Make your life art. Like make it artistic, make it dreamy, right? Like what can I do to romanticize this, to make this feel better than I normally feel like it is? Or like the way I like to always think about it, I imagine myself in a movie scene. I'm like, how can I make it a movie scene? And because in a movie scene, everything is intentional. Everything is beautified. Everything is more artistic. Everything is, more intentional. Everything has a point. And so it helps you to really feel more meaning in every single thing that you're doing. And it also helps you embody that main character energy, which is really just all coming back to your vibe and like the energy that you're in and your presence. So when I think about romanticizing my experiences, I think number one about bringing intention to everything that I'm doing. And this is even and especially your daily experiences, like getting ready in the morning, eating and cooking meals, driving is a big one, right? Like literally grocery shopping, anything you do in your day, it's like instead of treating this as just like a daily, whatever, run-of-the-mill task, how can I romanticize what I'm doing, right? So again, my favorite ways to do this are just being intentional with everything, being extra present, like really coming into the moment of what I'm doing, paying attention to the small little things and the way that I'm doing them. Imagining, like I imagine, it's so funny to share. I imagine that I have an audience. Like that's how I get into my main character energy. I imagine like I'm on a reality TV show sometimes and I'm like, everyone is watching, and maybe this might stress you out for some people, but for me, it helps me put me into like my main character energy. I'm like, this is my movie and everything has a purpose, right? Like it helps you really connect to just the meaning of your experiences, which I feel like helps you be a lot more present in them and a lot more grateful, which is the other element. So it's kind of like this trifecta of intention, presence, and gratitude that really helps you romanticize everything internally. And then also the number one thing that I love to do for this, that I always do, is just play music. Like, oh my God, play fucking music all the fucking time, you guys. And don't just play any music, okay? Pick music that fits the vibe. I love to play like cozy jazz, especially in the holidays. Again, cozy Christmas jazz. It just puts you in the mood so freaking fast. Like Sindri and I, this is a perfect example. We went in the hot tub, and if we could just go in the hot tub and just like talk and hang out in the hot tub and whatever, right? But we made it a vibe. We romanticized the experience, right? We put on cozy Christmas jazz immediately, just with that shift alone. It's like, oh my God, I feel like we're in a movie. It's like that cozy Christmas jazz. It makes you feel like you're at a fancy dinner party, like in a movie, you know? And you just feel, yeah, so fancy, right? And it just feels like dreamier. You feel like you're luxury, right? Like you're at a spa. Like they have always have music playing at a spa. You would never go to a spa and like not have music, right? So it's like the little touches like that is really what I mean about being intentional, you know, like with your meals. Don't just throw it on the plate. Like what if you just like present it a little more nicely? Or your drinks, that's another thing Sandra and I have been doing, is like instead of just making cocoa or cacao, right? Like we just put little marshmallows in it. Or in general, we always make cozy drinks and we always have cozy drinks with us when we're doing activities, because it's all those little, oh my God, I just hit my mic down. It's all of those little things that create a full experience. It's that classic thing of like, it's always the little detail, like the little moments that make up the big moments. So you would think like big moment, hot tub, but just the hot tub alone is kind of like not very nuanced, not very personalized, not very romanticized, right? It's almost like the balance of like the masculine and the feminine in a way. So like adding in the cozy music, adding in the cozy drink, and being really present with your experience and like with each other. You know, like I always am very intentional to like not be on my phone when we go in the hot tub. I'm like, I am relaxing. I'm being present with him. And sometimes we pull it out if we want to specifically record something or look something up. But you know what I mean? It's like, we're just being intentional with your time is all it is. But the music, do not underestimate the music, you guys, especially the cozy Christmas jazz. But like same thing goes for driving. Like when I'm driving during the holiday season, I'm like, I could listen to an educational podcast, which is me all the time. Like you guys know, that's how I am. I am like a self-development, I'm a learning in general obsessed person. I was in the top 1% of educational podcast listeners this year. Yeah. And honestly, I felt like I was listening to podcasts way less than I normally do this year, but I will purposely make sure that I listen to music more so than podcasts. And honestly, because of the way I approach the season, I feel more desire to just vibe and listen to cozy music than to listen to podcasts anyway. So it just like put on Christmas music, put on your favorite Christmas songs, make a playlist of your favorite Christmas songs, or just put on the radio. That's another cozy thing I feel like, is to take advantage of like more old fashioned things as much as possible. I love that I'm like calling the radio old fashioned, but you know, like instead of Spotify or your own curated playlist, like there is something kind of cozy about just seeing what comes on the radio, you know, like it's like you're literally putting yourself into an old-timey Christmas movie. This is like what I'm trying to get at with all these tips, honestly, is put yourself into a Christmas movie. Make your life a Christmas movie. And that is how you thrive in the holiday season. So yeah, romanticize everything. Play music all the time. Pick the vibe. Have like jolly, happy Christmas music while you're driving. Play the cozy romantic jazz while you're getting ready or while you're cooking or while you're relaxing. And then bring intention, presence, and gratitude into everything and make everything your movie scene. And you can like really get creative with this and do as much as you want with it, whatever comes to mind for you. And once you get into it, once you set the intention to really romanticize everything more, I think you'll get more ideas and it'll come more naturally. Again, like us with the cozy drinks, it's like automatic. We're like, gotta sit down, gotta have the cozy drink, gotta cuddle up in the blanket, gonna do this and this. Gotta be really intentional with everything about your experience, right? And that brings me perfectly into number 2, which is in the same line of being intentional, but it is all about your space, right? So number one is kind of about romanticizing your experience, which obviously includes like elements that you bring into it, like the music and the drinks, etc. But I really want to give a specific point to your spaces and your environment, because I think this is extremely overlooked in how much your environment affects your experience. The combination of intentional environment and intentional spaces with intention in your experiences is just chef's kiss. Not rushing into anything. It's like I talk about all the time, being intentional with your relaxation, right? Like not just plopping down on the couch and scrolling on your phone. You're not relaxing. You're not regulating doing that. But if you're like, okay, I'm going to intentionally relax now for even 10 minutes, and I'm going to light a candle, and I'm going to put on some music, and I'm going to sit on the couch, and I'm going to read, or I'm going to meditate, or I'm going to just sit here, right? Or whatever it is that you like to do to relax, I'm going to draw, whatever it is, like actually bringing intention into that experience and creating a relaxing, vibey space for you to do that in. Create cozy, intentional holiday spaces. And so that starts obviously with decorating. Decorate your space. If you want it to feel like Christmas, decorate. And this, again, does not have to be fancy decorations. This doesn't have to involve spending a ton of money. Okay, you can go to the thrift store. Thrift store always has so many decorations, right? You can get cheap decorations from so many places. You can make your own decorations, make a craft out of it. And I'm sure you have decorations already as well, but make it cozy and festive. Actually, Sindri's apartment right now does not have any decorations up because it's actually his dad's apartment, and he like didn't have any Christmas decorations up. And I'm like, this is so weird. Like, how do you just not put Christmas decorations up? I can't fathom personally. Always go all out with my decorations. And that's because it makes such a difference in like the vibe that you feel. Like, think about like, why do you feel so festive and Christmassy when you go to the mall? Or like when you go out and walk the town and the shops, right? Because everything is decorated so cozy. And that's how it is in the cozy Christmas movies too. So decorate, right? And romanticize the experience of decorating too. I feel like even decorating can start to feel like a chore, right? And it's like, again, make your cozy drink, put on your cozy music, make a little montage for yourself in your head. I like visualize, I'm like, this is my decorating montage. Or like, that's why I like to vlog too and do the Vlogmas, because it helps me kind of connect to that creative vision. And then when I put it together, it's really cozy too, but you don't have to go that far, but you know what I'm saying? So decorate and make it fun, you know? Romanticize the experience of decorating and making your space vibey. Lights, especially lights. Just maybe this is a me personally thing. I have a bias towards lights. I freaking love lights, but add cozy Christmas lights into your space somehow. Just like decorate it and make it your own. And another big element of this is keep it clean. Keep it decluttered and keep it clean. Respect your spaces. Honor them. You know what I mean? I was just talking to a client about this, and she was saying how she got really inspired from an exercise that we did to really up-level her space to align to like this new level of identity that she's stepping into and embodying. And to really make her desk and her work area and her office area like a very vibey space that she feels excited to be in, that it feels expansive to her. And that is so, so important and so overlooked. And it's actually funny because she is not the first client that I have had to have that breakthrough on their own without even me advising them to do it, just from the work that we've done. And I always say that your environment, like everything, is an extension of you. It's a reflection of you. And so if you're feeling cluttered and messy and distracted and stressed inside, that's going to reflect in your environment, and vice versa. So it's kind of like that phrase that this is not exactly the same meaning of this phrase, but you know how they say you can't heal in the same environment that hurt you? It's kind of the same thing, to where if you have a messy, cluttered, stressful environment that's not vibey, doesn't feel expansive, right? That doesn't feel aligned, even if the like expression of your environment doesn't feel like aligned to you. And it's like, it feels like a drag to actually be in your environment, you know, like if your apartment's a mess, you're automatically getting more stressed, like walking into your space without even realizing. So like if your desk area, if your office is a mess, you're going to feel less excited about sitting down to work than if you feel like you have like a fancy, expansive new desk, or not even new desk, but like a fancy, expansive area, or like a clean area, or a vibey, decorated area that lights you up and makes you feel excited to work. It's like, why do we feel so excited? Or I do, I'm assuming I'm just speaking for myself and speaking for all of us, but why do I feel so excited? I know a lot of people have shared this with me. They feel the same way, to go work in a coffee shop, because it's like a new, vibey, expansive environment. And this is also why, one thing about me, I rearrange my furniture every year. I have rearranged my apartment furniture every year since I've moved into my apartment. I don't know if that's normal or not, but it's like I need that fresh energy and it feels more, it's not even, it feels more expansive every time that I do it. And what I've noticed is actually it's not a conscious choice to do it. I all of a sudden just feel this urge of I must rearrange my furniture because I feel the energy is off. And then when I rearrange it, I'm like, wow, the way that I rearranged it makes so much sense for like the season of life that I'm in and where I'm at energetically. And it's just so funny how it works, but it's also not funny because it makes perfect sense, right? It's even the little things like I will notice for me, I'll have a light bulb out that I won't change for a while. And I'll like, oh, I really should change that light bulb. And then like the day I change it, I have a huge breakthrough of like clarity of something. Like something is literally illuminated, you know? Or like I'm not taking the trash out. I take the trash out and I feel so much lighter. Or I take it out the same day that I released something else energetically earlier on. It literally is so tied together. So remember that like your space, like you're connected to your space and your environment, and that really affects your experience. So make it vibey, let it feel expansive, decorate it, be festive as fuck with it. I was always known in my office for going all out with my decorations in my cubicle in my office every single year at both jobs that I worked at. For Halloween, for Christmas, I always went all out. And that's because it's like I'm taking advantage of every little bit of joy and festiveness and coziness and vibiness that I can create for myself and everyone around me in this season. So yeah, that's number 2, cozy intentional spaces. I'm going to paint a picture real quick just to like combine these first two. Say you're going to watch a Christmas movie, which actually is jumping a little bit ahead to number 3 because that's a part of number 3. Say you're going to watch a Christmas movie, right? Instead of just like, okay, we're going to watch a Christmas movie, sit down on the couch, press play, you know, first of all, you have a clean space, right? That feels exciting to like sit down and watch. You have your cozy decorated, like maybe your festive blankets and pillows, your Christmas tree in the corner all lit up. It's already a very cozy, festive space. You make your cozy drink, right? You put on your cozy outfit, like your Christmas pajama pants and Christmas cozy socks, right? Like you get into your festive gear. You put all these elements together and then you sit down on the couch and play the Christmas movie. See the difference in those experiences? And it is those little moments that will truly make you feel like you were present throughout your season, like you made the most of it, and will just help you be present in your own experience and enjoy your own experience so much more. Oh, no, this is not in everyone's wheelhouse, but if you have the ability, a fire, making a cozy fire, also huge vibe addition, huge vibe raiser. Yeah, what did I say? Christmas clothes. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to say on that too is again, like when I'm saying all this, like I don't want you to feel like, oh my God, like now I have to go out and get all these decorations or blah, 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 blah. Again, remember, it's really so much more about the energy and the intention behind everything than like the actual tangible things. And these can be simple shifts. Like again, I was talking about rearranging my furniture 2 years ago or last year maybe. I think last year. I turned my desk 90 degrees. Literally, I turned it 90 degrees, and that made so much of a difference in the way that I felt sitting at my desk and the energy I felt around my workspace. So it can be little things. And like I wanted to like even decorations wise, right? Remember Charlie Brown Christmas with the little Christmas tree? That was the most wholesome, coziest thing ever. And the tree was like a small, dinky little tree, right? They just wrapped a blanket around it, but it really is all about just like the love and the intention that you bring into everything you're doing. So remember, like it doesn't, like I'm giving you all these tips and I'm combining the internal and the external, but I really want to emphasize like it doesn't have to be all about, and it's not all about the appearances of things, right? It's about what does it mean to you and how can you make it meaningful to you, you know? And there are little ways that the appearance can contribute, but it doesn't have to be like a big thing. So I don't want you to get perfectionist about it or anything. I just want you to like take this all with you in a way that feels aligned. Okay. So number 3 is to do corny ass Christmas activities. Do corny activities. Again, we're making your life an old-timey Christmas movie or like a Hallmark movie, okay? Like this is what we want. And again, like I feel like we don't do a lot of these activities because we feel like they're corny, right? And we're like, I'm not going to do that. But really what this one is about is let your inner child out to play. Like let your inner child come out and celebrate Christmas, because that's really what this is all, right? Is like when you're a kid, You're so excited about Christmas. Like, you're loving everything. You're embracing all of it. You're so excited. So we always say, like, waking up like a little kid on Christmas. But then as you get old, you get kind of jaded. You get like bogged down by the stress. We see this in so many movies too, right? In general too, in life, not just the holidays. We forget how to have fun. We forget how to play and blah, 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 blah. We make it all serious. And so like this is all like bringing that inner child back out to play, like letting your inner child celebrate and have fun, bringing the joyfulness and the cheer and the excitement and the wonder back into your season and your life in general, of course, but especially at Christmas. So ways that we can do this, or I guess just some examples of like corny ass Christmas activities or holiday activities, even like seasonal, like winter activities that I highly recommend you bring into your season are number one, like I mentioned before, watch as many Christmas movies as possible. This is something I've made a big shift with, especially because I'm already not a huge TV watcher or a huge movie watcher. But like, bring out the Christmas movies. Watch as many Christmas movies as you can. Make sure you watch all your favorites, okay? Because I've gone through years where I got to the end and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even watch like my favorite Christmas movies. And I felt like it's not even Christmas without watching my favorite movies. So make sure that you, again, coming back to like our tips from last week, intentionally create time to watch your favorite Christmas movies. If there's something you really care about or really love about Christmas, or like movies you really love to watch or songs you really love to listen to, whatever it is, make sure that you intentionally schedule time or prioritize time to do those things. Actually, that reminds me of one thing I was going to say in the beginning. I totally forgot, but I was going to say kind of like a bonus number one. This is number 0, like preemptive to all of this is journal about all of the things you love about Christmas or that you love about the holiday season, right? Or that you love about this time of year, about winter even. Journal, like have a little journal sesh, a vibey, romanticized, intentional journal sesh about everything that you love about Christmas, all your favorite parts, all your favorite traditions, all your favorite songs, your favorite movies, everything you want to do. Again, like we talked about with the family gatherings and even last episode, what would make this a really joyful, fun, cheery, wonderful season for me? Like what would make me proud and happy, like to reflect back on? What kind of energy do I want to bring into it? And what do I want to make sure I do? What do I make sure I want to experience? How do I want to do it? Et cetera, et cetera. Journal out about all of this ahead of time or like beforehand, or like I guess now, like after you listen to this episode, it would be a journal about all of this. So then you know with all of these things, like you have your intention set and you know how you want to show up. You know the kind of elements you want to bring into it. You know what you love and what you want to make sure you don't miss out on. It's kind of like that point and call, right? I don't know if I think I've mentioned this somewhere on the podcast before because I talk about speaking out loud a lot. But in Atomic Habits, my Bible, he talks about this method called the point and call method, the point and call technique. And it's used in like really busy subway systems and train systems or something like that. And it greatly increases the efficacy or effectiveness or whatever of the systems. And all it is like they just point and call what they're doing. I don't know how train systems work, but they'll point and say like, okay, blah, blah is locked in, green light is turning on, pressing foot on the gas, whatever it is. That's not what they say. But you get what I'm saying? Like they just point and call exactly what they're doing. So like, okay, to use an example of like something I actually understand, like if I was setting up my podcast to record, I would be like, okay, mic plugged in, camera turned on, like backup camera set up. Like it's like checking like sometimes when you walk out the door, you're like, okay, wallet, keys, phone, chapstick, whatever it is. Like you say everything out loud to make sure you have it. It's just that little check. But it has been proven this point and call, literally just saying out loud, to improve the efficiency of things and also improve your likelihood to do something by like a lot. I don't know the statistical numbers. I would just watch Wicked yesterday. I'm speaking and like, I don't know the statistical numbers. So all of that to say is that's why intention setting is so powerful and like journaling ahead of time is so powerful, or even like journal and say like, I will watch It's a Wonderful Life this year. Whatever the movie is you want to make sure you watch. That is so powerful. You don't even realize how much of an effect that can have. So anyway, back to the corny Christmas activities. So watch as many Christmas movies as possible and make sure you watch your favorites. Bake cookies. And again, romanticize the experience of baking cookies. So obviously, okay, baked, no pun intended, baked into all of these is romanticize the activities as well, right? And these activities are so easy and fun to romanticize because they're corny ass Christmas activities for a reason. All right. So baking cookies, again, music, cookie dough fights, festive sprinkles, the whole shebang, right? Decorating your tree. I already said romanticize decorating your tree. Build a snowman, playing in the snow. Oh my God, that's a huge one. Like when is the last time you played in the snow as an adult? build a freaking snowman. Sindri and I built a little snowman family over the weekend, and it was so much fun. We were gonna go out and build a giant snowman, but then we woke up and the snow had all completely melted and our snowman family died, so that was tragic. But, like that's what part of the reason I love our relationship so much is because we play a lot. We go play on the playground. We go play out in the snow, make a snowman. It's like, do stuff like that. If you have kids, even better. But if you don't, go do it by yourself or do it with your friends or do it with your family. Do it with your partner. Let yourself do those corny ass Christmas activities that you see in Hallmark movies that your kids love to do, that you used to do when you were little, and just play and take advantage. Another amazing one is ice skating. And a bonus on this one of doing the corny ass Christmas activities is to do something new. Try a new activity that you haven't done before. So I just went ice skating last year for the first time and I freaking loved it. It wasn't very expensive at all. And I had no idea how much I loved ice skating. And it was such a cozy, Christmassy, vibey activity. Highly, highly recommend. And I felt like I was taking more advantage of the festiveness of the season because I was doing a new activity that I hadn't done before. So highly recommend trying something new, and also trying new things just helps you to be more present in your experience. Always, we understand that, right? If you're in like the same thing every day, it goes by fast. And like when you're doing all new things, your time goes by so slow because you're way more present because you're not in the same old programming and the same old familiar, like you're having new experiences. So ice skating is another great one. Also like a lights tour, like my family always does. We call it boozy lights tour, but it doesn't have to be boozy. I don't even really drink alcohol anymore, but it's just I bring my cozy drink, of course. Again, we're bringing all the elements in. I wear my Santa hat and we just all get in the car, play some Christmas music, and we drive through neighborhoods and look at lights together. That's a really cozy one. Looking at other people's decorations and lights. You can do this on a walk too, or find a lot of neighborhoods that are like specifically go really all out. You'll kind of know, you could look up in your area like who goes all out with decorations, and like just go walk through or drive through and make that a thing. Also, there are a lot of places you can go that do special Christmas events or Christmas specials or stuff like that. Or do like a cozy, like make a special Christmas drink at home, like make a new thing at home. Do a Christmas craft. Like I said, make your own decorations. So like literally all these corny things, like I want you to play like a little kid on Christmas is what I want you to do. Okay. Also, go play at the mall. Oh my God. Go to the mall. This needs to be its own tip. Honestly, go to the mall at Christmas. Like I personally love going to the mall all the time. I don't know. It's just such a fun experience for me. I find it so vibey, so cozy. I just love it. But especially at Christmas, there's like the gift wrap, there's Santa, all the stores, all the Christmas thingies. All right. You have to have a little bit of self-control if you're not wanting to go on a shopping spree. But if you just go with the intention of playing and exploring, it is so fun. Oh my God. The Icelandic mall, not the Icelandic mall, they have more than one mall, but the mall that we went to in Iceland recently, they had like a elf finding thing. Like there was an elf and we didn't see it till we left, and I was so bummed. I was like, I wish we were here all season. I would literally come back every day and do this. But it was like an elf scavenger hunt. So they hid the elf somewhere in the mall every single day and you had to find it and submit where it is, and then you can win prizes at the end. And they had gift wrapping stations just like out in the middle. They had giant Christmas trees, Santa, everything. So go to the mall. Also, it's just so cozy. Again, even if you're not buying things, even if you're doing something else for your Christmas gifts, or if you're not, that I absolutely highly recommend, don't just do all your Christmas shopping online. Go have an in-person day shopping for gifts. Even if you don't find anything, just let it be a joyful, fun, exploratory thing, right? Like, again, romanticize it. Don't put pressure on it, but set aside a day, highly recommend, to go with your partner or go with a friend or even go by yourself and just explore all the shops and just walk around and vibe. Again, get a cozy drink. I'm obsessed with my cozy drinks, you guys, Get a cozy drink and just be cozy and walk around. And especially highly recommend doing this at like local shops too. Like if you have a like local strip or village or something with shops, because I always support local, and also it's just like even cozier. But to the mall, to the local shops, have a shopping day. I think I do this pretty much every year and it's one of my favorite things. It's just like so fun, and it always is full of surprises, and yeah, love it. Do the corniest Christmas activities and try new things, new activities, new experiences. Yeah, that are festive. Okay, and then number 4 on the flip side of trying new things is to embrace traditions. Embrace your traditions. And I kind of touched on this a little already with the movies, but whatever your traditions are, like whatever, again, this will come up in the journaling, hopefully, whatever you feel like really makes Christmas Christmas for you, like makes the holidays feel like the holidays. What do the holidays mean to you? Make sure you don't skip out on those, and also make sure that you don't take them for granted. If you have traditions you do every year that you really love, again, like really make sure to bring all these elements into it. Make sure you're really present and intentional with your time and gratitude, like feeling your gratitude for these traditions and that you still get to experience them, that you get to celebrate with your family, whatever it is. Like I found myself feeling just really, really grateful that I get to celebrate with my family, with all parts of my family, all of my families. I have many families. My mom and my stepdad, my dad and my stepmom, Sindri and his family, and his mom and his dad. And we all have different traditions that I'm getting to experience. And I'm just like really embracing being a part of them, watching all the movies, doing all the things, singing the songs, going to all the places, eating all the food, all the little things, and just the fact that I get to celebrate with everyone. And again, your traditions are going to be different for you, but really just embrace your traditions and let yourself feel the gratitude for them and be really present in them. And that's really all I have to say on it, is like, don't skip out on them. If there's a tradition that you're like, oh, maybe I'm not going to do that this year, it might be too much work, or if you kind of just like going through the motions, like just kind of give yourself a pause and really let yourself embrace them and love them and feel grateful for them and experience them fully. Don't forget about the tradition. Traditions are such a huge part of like what makes holidays feel like holidays for us, right? It's like, I always hear like my dad say, oh, it just doesn't feel like Christmas if we don't XYZ, right? It's like, that's what makes it feel like whatever it is to us, because that's like the meaning and the memory we have attached. And like the familiarity obviously is so powerful that it's like, for even the way our brains work, right? It's so powerful. So don't skip out on the traditions, embrace the traditions. Number 5 is to give. And this really is all about just remembering the reason for the season and coming back to the spirit of the season and the holiday, to spread love and joy. Spread as much love and joy as you can, because truly there's no better way to get into the spirit and the mood and the feeling of the season and of the holidays than to embody the spirit of the season and the mood of the holidays. Like all these other things are things we can kind of do for ourselves. And it's weird to say it that way, even because when you do things for someone else, you are so doing something for yourself, right? But they're more focused on like, how can I make my experience better? But it is so overlooked and underrated. And again, it's because a lot of the time you don't have the capacity to necessarily like think about this, because we're still in that stress survival mode, right? Which is why we have the first 2 episodes. But my goal is that you can get out of that stress survival mode enough that you have the capacity to give to others and to spread joy and love to others, because you will hopefully feel like your cup is so full from embodying and implementing and integrating all of these tips that you're able to overflow into others' cups. And this can be in little ways, in big ways. It could be donations. It could be giving gifts to other people. It could be giving your time and energy to people. It could be just spreading love, like giving random compliments. It could be little things, giving out candy canes to people you pass on the street, whatever it is, like baked cookie. Like my sister and I a couple times have baked cookies for the fire department and the police department. It doesn't matter what it is. Pick something that feels aligned to you and feels from the heart, not a performative thing, right? Pick something. Like another thing I do is sometimes I'll just be like, who is someone that in my life that I feel like is a really good person that is just so stressed, and I would just love to take some stress off their plate. What's a little favor I could do to them, or a way that I could bring some joy into their day? So just like get into your heart and really ask yourself, how do I want to give back this season? Or how do I just want to give? How do I want to spread love and joy and gratitude? And how can I spread this energy to as many people as possible and spread it all around me? And of course, all these other tips help you embody it so that you can spread it. But truly just like giving the spirit. My mom always said to me, like, the spirit of the season, the essence of Santa Claus, is the idea of giving without expecting anything in return. He goes around and gives all these gifts and he doesn't expect anything in return. That is like the spirit of Christmas, she's always said, or at least one of the elements of the spirit of Christmas. So it's like, how can you embody that spirit, that sentiment, that energy? Who can you give to? How can you give in a way that would feel so good and so nourishing and so loving without expecting anything in return? And the feeling that you actually get in return for doing that is just like unmatched. I mean, you can't recreate it. And it just is, it really, I mean, again, every movie has an element of that, I feel like, in it, of spreading love, spreading joy, and just giving and without expecting anything. We just watched Christmas with the Cranks. And like that ending scene, spoiler alert for Christmas with the Cranks, just skip forward like 10 seconds if you haven't seen that movie. But the ending scene where the neighborhood all comes together to like help them with the party, even though they were being mean to them. Like, are you kidding? So yeah, again, make this your own, integrate this, embody this, however feels right to you. But even just the littlest ways that you can give and spread love and joy to others this season, it is going to make a world of difference for the way that you experience your own season in your own life. It truly feels so amazing, and it's just such a win-win. And it is such an embodiment of the season. That's a huge, huge, huge one. Give, 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 gratitude, spread love, spread joy as much as you can. Remember the reason for the season, the spirit of the holiday. Okay. And that is all of my tips. So how many did we end up with having? Kind of like 5, but also the journaling was like a bonus, so kind of 6. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, I wrote this down. It doesn't have a number, so I don't know what number. This is technically 7 or whatever. But take time off if you can, okay? And if you can't take time off, just to rearrange your priorities at least, so that you can make time for these things and to be present with your family, with your loved ones, with these activities, to again be present with things and not have it all pass you by and like rush by because it is already a busier season. I think I talked about this a little bit last episode, but I felt like a big reason that I felt like this was happening to me with the holidays a lot, like previously, was because I was just working so much. But I finally was like, I'm going to just take some time off, or like, I'm going to take a full day off to have this cozy shopping day because I really love it and it feels really Christmassy, right? Or to watch Christmas movies. And if you can't do that and can't make the time, just rearrange. How can you rearrange your priorities a bit, if this is a priority to you, to really enjoy yourself this season and embrace the festiveness and the coziness of the holidays and everything it has to offer, to maybe take some other things off your plate so you can make more time for these things, or, you know, just like be more intentional with your time so you can take advantage, because we don't want to just like work away the holidays. And you deserve a break. If you are a workaholic or you're working a lot, you deserve a break. It may feel uncomfortable to take something else off your plate or rearrange some priorities or even take a day off. But if you are an entrepreneur listening to this podcast, you are in control of your schedule. So remember that you can do that. You have the ability to choose your schedule, and I know you might feel like, but I'm supposed to do this launch, or I have to do this and this and this. And it's like, it'll be fine. Your energy is so much more powerful when you are in this energy embodying all of these things, right? Than if you're stressing through the holidays trying to push a launch. I actually know so many clients that have closed sales while like on holiday break, or like while working last through the holidays, or like while on vacation. And I'm like kind of on a holiday break right now, even though I'm still working. I'm like away traveling and stuff. And I just closed a huge sale. So if you're an entrepreneur and you have more control of your schedule, and we talked about this a lot more last episode, but you know, take the time off, choose to prioritize. And if you are at a job where you have PTO or something like that, then take the time off, unless you're like have no time left, or maybe you can try find some balance. But a lot of people, especially, get to the end of the year and you have all these days left, right? So it's like, use them and do some fun, cozy, corny Christmas stuff. All right. So romanticize everything, create cozy, intentional spaces and vibey environments, respect your environment, romanticize your environment and everything about your experience. Listen to as much Christmas music as possible. Do corny ass Christmas activities. Watch as many Christmas movies as possible, especially your favorites. Try a new activity. Let your inner child out to play. Embrace traditions, embrace gratitude, give back, spread as much love and joy as you can all around you, and make time to do all of this and really let yourself enjoy the season. So that is the end of your Hot Girl Holiday Thrival Guide. I hope that you loved it. I hope that you were able to take all of these tips with you from all 3 episodes and really survive and thrive this holiday season. And I hope that you just get to experience everything that you love. And it really does feel like a wonderful time of year for you, filled with joy and gratitude and love and presence in family and connection and health and happiness and safety and abundance and all of the amazing things. I am sending you such a big, cozy, warm hug. I love you all so much. It is going to be 2025 before you know it. Speaking of which, I have 2 spots left as of recording this on Tuesday. 2 spots left available for my 2025 vision sessions. So if you're listening to this on Thursday, go check my page, the link in my bio, or send me a DM to see if those 2 spots are still available. Then go ahead and snag yours up because, again, I'm a broken record with this, but there's nothing more powerful than setting your intention and really getting clear on your vision and your goals for the new year and getting into the energy to manifest those things. So I've had so many incredible wins with my clients so far already in these sessions. Whether you are a business owner, an aspiring business owner, or just somebody with goals, they are open to everybody, but they are so incredibly powerful to help to activate your 2025 timeline and really alchemize any of the energetic blocks in the way of you manifesting your goals for the new year. So get in while you can. Again, thank you so much for listening. We are so close to our 1,000 downloads goal. I'm pretty confident that we're going to hit it by the end of the year. But again, as always, it is so much appreciated if you send this out to anyone that you think would benefit, anyone that you know loves to really cozy up in the holidays and make the most of the season, who loves to be festive and just loves to enjoy themselves and that you think deserves to thrive. So send it out, share it, all that good stuff. Really, really, really appreciate it. Again, it's a great way to give and to spread love and joy. And with that said, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Don't forget to take a deep breath and smile. And I will talk to you next week. Bye. Mwah.